So then the Waldron and Peterson equation, it's very similar to the Macquer equation in terms of using the surface area and the shape to calculate. However, the resistance, it changed. It will be nice for you to practice and calculate that to see how's the difference in between every calculation. But that's well, that's up to you. Then there is the Lloyd's equation. It's for slim plates. It's basically for long flush mounted. So it's when length is higher than width and thickness. So it's very thin. It's intended to be for very thin. And it's basically seawater resistivity. Now we are not using the surface area. We are using the arithmetic mean of the anode length and width to calculate Lloyd's. This is less used, but well, still, and this is very similar to it's a simplification of the Dwight equation, this Lloyd's equation. Now, protection potential and anode current output. So to determine the anode output, of course, we need to apply the Ohm's law, so which is the potential over resistance. So we have now the resistance that we need to calculate, right? So because we already reviewed the 4 equations, so we can get the resistance. Now we need to know the output current. So the resistance is calculated following the previous equation. So the most utilized formula that for sacrificial anode is the Dwight modified equation. However, the resistivity shall be measured or found in the open literature. So there are some examples of the resistivity. As remember, we said at the beginning of this presentation that the resistivity is very important. And it's not the same, the resistivity in the Gulf of Mexico versus the Persian Gulf versus North Sea, or any other electrolyte that you want to measure. So it also depends on the temperature. We see that the Gulf of Mexico is 22, Persian Gulf is 30 Celsius, and North Sea is basically 10 degrees C. That's very important to know. And in the next videos, what we will start to do is present how we calculate all the equations that are required to calculate. And in the final video, we'll basically go with step 1 and with the example how to calculate. And then you will basically go through this example and send final calculation will be basically your last assignment or your final task. Okay, guys, then I will upload the next videos asking about or basically going for all the questions that are required. So at this moment, we just review the resistance and now the Ohm's law. But there is more equations. We need to determine the number of anodes. We need to determine the size of the anodes, and we need to determine the life of the anode. And we need to calculate some other stuff. So they will become in the next videos.